My name is Micah Arthaud, and I operate Arthaud Family Farms along with my father, Leland, and my son, Micah. We grow wheat, corn, grain sorghum, and sunflowers in the Oklahoma Panhandle at the very west end at Keys, Oklahoma.
My great-grandparents moved here to Cimarron County in the mid-20s, so I'm the fifth generation on our family's farm. I studied ag engineering and returned in 2020. We've been able to adopt a number of new technologies that have transformed the way the farm looks compared to when my grandfather was farming.
We often face extended droughts in our area, and weed control is paramount in moisture preservation and yield success. Weed control has become much more difficult in the last 10 to 15 years. Weeds have become more resistant to chemicals, and so we've been looking for new things to try to kill the weeds effectively. 7 years ago, we implemented precision spot spraying technology, and that especially helped us to stay no-till during our fallow periods. We found success, but we saw that we were making a lot of trips, and so we thought we want to have a dual solution system where we can spray broadcast and spot spray at the same time. Reading a farm magazine, I read something about Greeneye. We were able to go to Nebraska to watch the equipment run in the field and inspect. When we were on the way home, we just pretty much committed to go ahead and buy a sprayer at that time.
It was really very easy to learn the Greeneye system. Being a retrofit kit, we didn't have to learn a completely new sprayer. Very easy to operate. The whole process went very smoothly. I've been impressed to see how passionate they are to not only give us a product that works, but one that is continually getting better. They keep making it more precise, and they have been able to customize it for what our farm needs.
In the 2 years that we've owned Greeneye, we've put about 1,200 hours on the system, and we found it to be incredibly reliable, very resilient, and very user-friendly as well. We've just started to understand how many options we have. We can spray pre-emerge at the same time we spot spray for the weeds, and there's just unlimited amount of chemical combinations that we can use. Definitely paid for itself. We spend less money on chemicals. Depending upon the weed pressure in the field, we see anywhere from, say, 50 to 95%. It just depends on the field. It's a definite no-brainer cost savings. Another benefit is that since we're just spraying a small fraction of the field, we can use stronger chemicals that really target the herbicide-resistant weeds. In post-emerge applications, the yield drag is drastically reduced, and that translates into real money. The system is very advanced, but some of the issues that we've had, we've been able to fix them by ourselves. When we have had issues that required special expertise or tools, Greeneye has been great to supply that within a day. There have been times that we needed a software upgrade or they wanted to make changes to the system, and we've plugged it in overnight and they work on it all night, and next morning it's good to go. And many times we've made suggestions and they've taken those into account. We can speak directly to someone in the chain of command and have been very responsive.
Another thing we liked about Greeneye was the dual tank. We knew we would be able to eliminate 1 or 2 passes a year by being able to do 2 applications at once. We've been able to use less chemical, but also have cleaner fields. There are many times when maybe only 1 or 2% of the field is covered with weeds. Before, it would not have made financial sense to make a full broadcast application, but with the Greeneye, we can go ahead and spray the field. I think it can be a fit to many farmers in different climates, with different crops.
It just goes without saying, you're going to save chemical. We're able to use higher rates of more effective chemicals, and yet our costs are much lower per acre. And of course, the chemical going out per acre is much less, which is good for the environment. One of the most attractive things to us was the initial purchase price. And of course, there's no additional subscriptions or per acre fees, which is a great plus.
One benefit that you might not think about is the amount of time you can save refilling the sprayer. There was one day this summer when I was spraying some fairly clean fields. I'd gotten an early start, and I think it was about 1 or 2 in the afternoon when I realized that I hadn't gotten out of the cab all day long. In our dry and windy climate, a lot of times the only chance we have to spray is early in the morning or late at night. This is the only system I know of that can spray green on green at nighttime. We've primarily used our sprayer in green on brown situations, keeping fields clean through our fallow period.
We're excited for next year of what we're going to do with green on green technology. that is going to open up lots of possibilities and yield improvements. We're just using a very small fraction of the capabilities of the system, and it's incredible to think about what new things they'll come up with in the future.
One of the things I'm really excited for is being able to use the data that the sprayer collects to be able to look at weed pressure in different areas of the field and being able to look at the health of the crops that are growing.
After using this technology, I can't imagine being without it. As the owner of the farm, I can surely say that any sprayer that we purchase in the future will have dual tanks.
We're going to be able to do things that we had not dreamed possible. I'm sure Greeneye is going to continue finding new ways to make spraying herbicides even more precise.